This video will be like a little two-parter, since I genuinely think there are some bad examples of Terrastalization being used incorrectly, and I mean not incorrectly, but like in a negative manner. But my boy Garganacl here is just such a good example of why Terrastalization can be considered maybe the best mechanic or gimmick we got ever since Generation 6. So, what is the situation with Garganacl? Garganacl is a Pokemon that has great qualities throughout the game. It can be pretty proactive in the mid game thanks to the Iron Defense plus Body Press. So, like, this is basically the dream of these kind of like stall VGC players ever since like Generation whatever, is to just have a bulky Pokemon set up multiple defenses and then just win the stall. Unfortunately, it wasn't very practical before, but now it is because we got a Body Press. Body Press can turn your defense into offense, and even after a single Iron Defense, you can basically do it to every single non-bulky Pokemon. You can probably do it KO Rotom Wash, you can probably do it KO Arcanine, and this allows Garganacl to be proactive throughout the mid game and not just watch its friends die. And it can be very effective in end game because like it can pretty much, if it's just gonna be 2 versus 1, Garganacl with Recover, Salt Cure just doing chip damage and Body Press, it can probably 2v1 the majority of the metagame. But it cannot do that with its typing sometimes. So Terrastalization comes to help and to counteract some of its normal counteractions. So what are the problems for Garganacl throughout the game? Well, probably the most infamous one is Golden Eggo. Golden Eggo, if it set up Nasty Plot, you probably can't do anything about it. Especially, I've seen a lot of lifer Golden Eggos, so basically, they just set up Nasty Plot and they just go for Make It Right. And even if you're neutral to it, it will just one-hit KO you. But usually Golden Eggo is such a hard counteraction to this that you just... unless you really only want to counteract the Golden Eggo, you will not go ahead and hard counteract it, you know. There are more practical approaches. You could counteract Flutter Mane, which is basically on every team. Rotom Wash is also really annoying, and you got like 2 types to choose from. That being Grass or Dragon, to just resist both of its stabs. And don't forget, Purifying Salt not only makes you immune to status, but Ghost Power is halved again. So, if you choose Ghost typing, you can actually be only weak to Dark typing. Sorry for the cut in the video. I saw some really annoying ads here that I don't think I can just show on this Christian YouTube channel. Anyway, so I could just genuinely make a tier list for Garganacl types. So I think, for my experience, the Ghost typing is probably the S tier, because not only it allows you to just have only one weakness, it also allows you to just kind of not be weak to other Garganacls. So yeah, Body Press, you're immune to it, and other, for example, non-Ghost type Garganacls can only Salt Cure you, so you're gonna outdamage them and win the Recover War in the end. And you're neutral to Rotom Wash now, you're neutral to Miss Grievous. You're weak to Chi-Yu, unfortunately, which just is kind of annoying. Late game Chi-Yu can absolutely tear you apart, and sometimes you're forced to go for the Ghost Terrastalization to be, for example, safe against Grass or Water types, and then like Chi-Yu just finishes you off in the late game. So, but still, the Garganacl mirrors and the pretty much neutral matchup against everything is just so damn good. Other typing I could probably rank this high is probably Grass typing. The idea is that you're now resistant to everything Rotom Wash throws at you. No, I'm thinking, wait a minute, why not Dragon typing? I mean, Dragon typing unfortunately makes you weak to a Flutter Mane's Wind Blast, and that is actually genuinely bad. Grass typing has similar problem with Chi-Yu, but for example, Arcanine cannot really defeat you with Flare Blitz, so you don't really care. The problem with Chi-Yu is the same as with the Ghost typing, but most importantly, you're still resisting the Shadow Ball, you're neutral to Moonblast, but you still resist both of the stabs of Rotom Wash, which is just absolutely phenomenal. It really makes the late games much easier and much more straightforward against this demon nasty blunting setting up Pokemon. Dragon typing is also really good because it allows you to just still resist the fire type moves from the rock typing, which is pretty damn good against stuff like Torkoal, Trick Room, and you're sometimes forced to like Terrastalize against a Cerulege or Armorage that just kind of tries to go for Energy Ball. That is actually a pretty common set on them. And now you're resistant to both Energy Ball and fire type moves, which makes you really have a really good matchup against them. Other type I could rank high is Fairy type. It again only gives you 2 weaknesses. Steel type weakness is still the same. Make it rain Golden probably completely demolishes you, but it did before, so you don't really care. And the other steel types, you just kind of go for iron defense and just win against them anyways. So you technically only have 1 weakness, the poison, and no one uses poison moves. I mean, Iron Moth might, but I think that's literally the only example of a poison type in this entire metagame. I thought it's gonna pick up the steam on stuff like Hydreigon because technically it only gives you 1 weakness now, but yeah, no one uses poison type moves. You pretty much resist steel type physical moves, so you're pretty much good to go with fairy type. And you resist body press, which gives you a additionally good matchup against the opponent's Garganacl. And I completely forgot, grass typing has the amazing viability as you can, for example, get a Tinglu next to yourself. I do not have it here, but Tinglu is an amazing ally for Garganacl to lower the power of special attack moves. And now you can very safely go for Earthquake. Like, you're gonna resist, have +2 defense, and you're maybe gonna even outspeed Tinglu because you're running like minimum speed Tinglu for Trick Room. So now you're gonna be basically good to go to Earthquake next to it, and that's just it just makes Tinglu just so much more spammable. Now it can Earthquake next to Garganacl and like another Levitator, and you can basically say, okay, my Earthquake is set up pretty much perfectly for this game, and I can just kind of win the games much more easily. Third type doesn't have this advantage, unfortunately, but you still resist the body press. I've seen some poison type Garganacls. You're still weak to Earthquake, but you don't kind of care, you know. You now resist fighting type moves, but I mean, I'm probably gonna put it in B tier because, like, I mean, Psychic type moves are not really that common either, but like poison types are only weak to 2 types, right? Only ground and psychic. You know what? Let me put it in A tier for that resistance to but you're weak to Earthquake next to yourself. Okay, let's put it in B tier because of the self-earthquaking possibility. So I don't think that's very good. Flying typing gives you straight up Earthquake immunity, which allows you to just spam Earthquake even more, you know. Unfortunately, it gives you a nasty weakness to Rotomosh's electric type move, so maybe I'm gonna move it to the B tier, because I really would like to counteract Rotomosh at least decently with this. And you're now weak to ice moves as well, and yeah, it's just gonna get messy against stuff like Delibird as well. So I don't like that all that much. What are some other types? Bug types. I've seen some bug types, but the weaknesses are again like you resist your own Earthquake, but you're weak to fire, and you're weak to flying. Although, yeah, Grass type and Bug type have the same weakness to a lot of stuff. Now that I think about it, you know what? I'm not like I can't just think of this on top of my head, so I'm gonna like do weak Bug, Fire, Flying, Rock. That's actually not that bad. Yeah, but you do not resist the electric and water types, which is just kind of a shame, you know? You're weak to less types, but at the same time, you are going to not really match up against Rotomosh any better, so there's not much of a point to run bug typing. Steel typing, I might put, like, probably B+ tier, because it is the one typing that has a lot of resistances and allows you to match up very well against Golden, which could be literally a lifesaver in late game. Like against Salt Cure, they're gonna make it right. They're not gonna do over half. Or with Moringa Berry, they're not gonna do over half, and they're like, oh no, I lowered my special attack, and now I'm gonna recover spam, And you can literally win the game because Salt Cure hits Steel types for 25% every turn instead of 12. And you can win the game with Steel type, but the weaknesses are very similar. Although you're actually resistant to Flutter Mane. Okay, you know what? You sold me on that. But you are weak to your own Earthquake, which is not very good. But you know, you're resisting Flutter Mane. You're neutral to Rotom Wash. You're weak to opponent's Garganacl now. But you won the Golden Egg Mirror, so I mean not mirror, but you won the Golden Egg matchup. So I'm gonna put it in like A- there, you know. The other types, I mean, Psychic type, I mean, it's similar to Ghost type, but you do not gain the Body Press immunity, and you're pretty much weak to Expert type with the, I mean, it's also pretty good typing to have, you know. But you do not make the matchup against. But Ghost type doesn't, so it feels like a bit of a worse Ghost typing, you know, in a lot of ways. Why would you choose Psychic when you got Ghost type? You got the same weaknesses but one extra, and you're not immunized to Body Press, but you're resisting it. I guess you could just say Psychic types have different counter resistances, but, you know. Excuse me. I mean, Water typing could be also good because you're only weak to like 2 types, so that's not too bad. I mean, the other types are not as good because they don't synergize with Rock type all that well. You're now super big to Rotom Wash. You're weak to only 2 types, but you're super big to Rotom Wash. 1 type, but you're weak to Earthquake still, and you didn't fix. Actually, Electric type could be really ranked actually higher because you still win the Golden Egg Mirror. But you're only weak to 1 type, but you don't fix the problem with Misdreavus, you don't fix the problem with Chiyu really, you don't fix the problem with Rotom Wash really. But you're only weak to 1 type, and I think it might be better than Steel type actually, you know, in my opinion, because you're only really weak to 1 type and you resist the Golden Egg matchup. So that could be interesting type, but I don't think it's all that good. It could be a good niche type, but you know, whatever. Fighting is offensive one. I don't think that's even that all good. You're now weak to Misdreavus, so that's not very good. So again, you resist the Golden Egg matchup. Water type also allows you to resist the Golden Egg matchup, which could be pretty damn good. But Fire type makes you just straight up weak to Rotom Wash again, so that's not very good. But you do actually resist the Flutter Mane matchup now as well, and you actually resist the Fire type moves of Chiyu. So I might rank it like B tier, you know. Normal type, I don't know what you're doing with that. I guess it could be interesting to see. But you're already resisting Ghost type, so it doesn't really have good, yeah, Rock typing. What are you doing? Ice typing, what are you doing? Like, you just gain tons of weaknesses, only 1 resistance. Ground typing could be interesting to just resist, but like, you're weak to Rotom Wash now again. And it doesn't really do all that well. Dark, you resist poison, I mean, you can resist Ghost types, which isn't very useful. Dark types, which isn't very useful because Chiyu can Heat Wave you. And you're weak to, oh my goodness, you're weak to Flutter Mane as well. So, this is my ranking for Garganacl types. And all of them, as you heard, have some semblance of viability. All of them have niches, you know. Some are better than others, but you can fill up multiple different niches based on your needs and win the late games in your own way, which I feel is extremely, I mean, I would say extremely nice and extremely cute for Garganacl. I like this guy. I really like this guy, and this is a great example of how Terrastalization can be used well. So, with that, I think I'm gonna end this video and tune in for the bad effect of Terrastalization in a second. So there are some strategies that just push, the Terrastalization helps push over the limit. So probably the best example of this, hopefully I'm gonna find like more examples. I got one more in mind, but this one is probably the most infamous one for whoever just played on ladder in the past few days. You will probably find this strategy really annoying. So yes, Extreme Speed will get a stab. Inner Focus will make Dragonite, Immunite, Intimidate, and Fake Out. Choice Band will push it a little bit over that limit. And still, I would say this is pretty cool strat, because you can accomplish can accomplish quite some feats here. So I'm gonna put Chiyu here. I'm gonna put Pro 52 Adamant. If I can. Yeah. Stream speed and a normal typing. So yeah, we're Terrastalization, whatever. And you see Choice Band Extreme Speed actually one-shots Chiyu. Otherwise, really annoying fast Pokemon, but you can just KO that. It's very similar to something like a Talonflame Brave Bird from Generation 6. You can just KO the semi-bulky Pokemon. However, if you pair it up, like, so basically, this is already pushing the limits a little bit. Like, you would say, alright, this is just a bit weird. Like, you should not be one-shotting this with a +2 priority move, but, oh, we're just beginning. We are just at the beginning. So, no, we're not gonna get intimidated. Yeah, that's fine. There's no problem here, is there? Yeah, there's no problem here, is there? And then we just do this. Boom. Does it sound healthy to you? Well, it's probably because, like, the Sport of Ruin is a bit of a broken ability as well, but, like, damn. +2 priority move doing this much to a Pokemon with max HP and 90 and 80 defenses, that is just sounds unhealthy. Few more examples. What do you think Torkoal does in Program? It just KOs everything. One of the reasons why Cerulege is such a good Pokemon right now is that it has Flash Power and it can become resistant to every single other stab Torkoal throws at it with Terrastalization in the grass. But Torkoal, my goodness, that thing is absolutely broken. So let's look at some Torkoal calculations. Let's just have fun with these, you know. Let's get Eruption. No, oh yeah, we got Drought. Thank you. Nerve now. Very good calculator, by the way. Here's the link to that. I might link it in the description as well, because it's such a cool calculator to have at hand at this moment, and not too many people know about it for some reason. Alright, that's pretty awful already. Once you terrastalize, you just see like, oh my goodness. Okay, I can use this without for you, and yes, you can use this without for you, and just pretty much do it together the entire metagame. Let's look at Rotom Mosh. I think this guy's gonna be a bit more. Yeah, I mean, that's 0 HP, but my goodness. But I think the most common example people will use is Dragapult. Yeah, Dragapult just simply gets one-shotted by the Eruption in Sun. Well, it's a chance, but come on, this is just ridiculous. This doesn't sound healthy. So yes, Torkoal can push the limit of damage a little bit over the line, I would say. Same with this guy, so yeah. It can get quite funny sometimes. Although not too many, I mean, people don't use R3, but they use it a lot in Trick Room because it has good synergy with Photosynthesis Pokemon. You can have like fast mode with Photosynthesis Pokemon, and then you have like a Trick Room mode with Choice Specs Torkoal, which just kind of wins sometimes. Are there some more examples? Let's see. Fluttermane is probably gonna have some funny calculations as well. Fluttermane, let's just give it 452 HP, modest, and you know, I've seen a lot of Choice Specs Fluttermane since people got kind of disappointed with the boosted energy, only giving it a life orb boost. So yeah, this is just the beginning. Let's look at Rotom Mosh. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna leave that, says Rotom Mosh. Yeah, I can play around this, and then just like... Excuse me. This is the right calculation. Oh, that sounds healthy. I see no problem here. No problem here, is there? And you can like pair it up. I mean, you can even run Timid and like just get Photosynthesis on the speed thanks to Torkoal, and you just get stuff like this happening. This is just... Couple of Choice Specs on Choice Band, it can get kind of ridiculous at times, as you can imagine. It's just kind of broken a little bit. Are there some other examples? Well, Great Tusk is already like good defended Pokemon, but yeah, I think these are probably the most infamous examples. Yes, this can get kind of broken, but I think it's not really only a problem of Terrastalization, it's like probably because you introduced so many good Pokemon as well. Like, so again, as I've seen, like, Choice Band Extreme Speed from normal type is fine. but then you push it over the limit with the Sword of Ruin. I mean, just makes eruption is survivable, but then you just get that extra boost, and you start like one-shooting stuff like Dragon Bolt. Yeah, I think like the Power of Flutter Mane can be survived. It might not one-shot everything, but once you just get the choice backs, it just and Fairy type, it just pushes it over the line. There are multiple examples of this, and I'm not very happy with that. I think like probably the best example like is that a lot of people are using Chin Pao and like Flutter Mane and Chiyu, you know, and you kind of have to kind of lead correctly, and they can Terrastalize any of them, and it's just so annoying to deal with because the Terrastalization pushed them over the limit. So yeah, I think I just made my point right here, and I think people are going to discover only the more strategies, and this could get even more ridiculous as the metagame progresses. Actually, whilst I was making this video, I decided that actually there are not like enough bad examples to show you, and I actually now have much more hope in the Terrastalization, as I've just basically shown some most extreme examples, and like these are kind of rare, you know. They're like, it's not Terrastalization, but like the other mechanics along with Terrastalization that push it over the limit. So if Smogon bans it, I'm gonna be a bit confused. And actually, I've like made such a much less material than I thought that I'm not gonna make this in the two-parter. I'm just gonna make this a single big video. So hopefully you learned something new, and I'll catch you next time. So have a nice day.